Today we're driving the 2024 Range Rover Velar Dynamic SE. This has a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6. Also got a mild hybrid system. It makes 395 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque. That engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Of course, it's all-wheel drive. It's a Range Rover. Let's walk you guys around it. I actually haven't driven one of these before. I think I did maybe a long time ago back at my days at Car and Driver when I was a photographer, and I just did a photo shoot of it. So I spent the week in this. Let's talk about what it's been like to live with, drive. We'll walk you guys around it and give you guys some driving impressions. Let's start on the outside. This Velar is painted in Varesine blue, which is gray. We have 21-inch wheels. Overall, this is the smaller, more entry-level, sexy Range Rover. It looks good. This starts around $62,000 as tested. This is just shy of 72 grand as starting MSRP, and with a few options, it's about $82,000. So kind of expensive for the class, but it is a Range Rover. You're buying this because it looks the way it does and because it has the badge that it does. Lots of space in the back, though a surprisingly high load floor here. Not too impressed with any of the materials in this Velar. Everything is plastic, and not very nice plastic. We do get good floor mats, though. These are very rugged. A big spare tire in there. That looks like a compact spare, though probably the same diameter as all the other wheels because this is all-wheel drive. Let's fold this in so it doesn't rattle. Good looking SUV. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best, if not the best looking SUV in the class. You see one of these on the road and it just kind of screams sex appeal in a way that many vehicles in this class just don't. I like the front end, I like the wheels, I even like the integrated door handles that fold in when the vehicle's off. Inside, I think it looks nice enough. The interior design is quite attractive. It's basic, kind of bland in here, very black, very dark. Range Rover has done away with pretty much all the physical buttons. Everything's in this central display. Part of me does wonder when all the manufacturers realize that people don't care about their screens and that the Teslification of every interior was probably a bad idea, but here we are. Range Rover's pretty much gotten rid of all of our buttons and everything's just in there. And it's in a screen that is okay, it's reasonably responsive, but nothing like our smartphones have been for the last 10 to 15 years. You know, the materials in here, everything is plastic. There's plastic up here, there's plastic right here, this is plastic, this feels like all plastic. The steering wheel's leather, but you know, for $80,000, you guys thought that the materials in the new X3 were a letdown. This is even more so. Everything in here is just kind of this vinyl plastic. The seats don't look particularly nice. Nothing in here is really very soft. It doesn't feel like a $70,000 or $80,000 interior. We do get heated rear seats. That is part of the climate package, as well as heated and ventilated front seats. That is nice in these winter Michigan days. There's a little bit of room in the back here. Lots of space underneath that front seat to put my feet, even though I have that lowered quite a bit. Headroom is decent. We've got a panoramic sunroof. I'm comfortable back here, and I feel like there's a good amount of space back here for what this is. Ingress and egress, super easy. Nice high place here to get your head through the pass. Easy to get in and out of. And in this gray, looks proper, especially with a blacked out roof. This is rated for 19 miles to the gallon in the city and 25 miles to the gallon on the highway for a 21 mpg combined rating. The inline 6 is smooth and powerful, and the mild hybrid system does help with that. It has stop-start technology that's completely seamless, no starter noise, which is nice. However, the throttle tuning could use a little bit of work. This is a very difficult vehicle to drive smoothly. I've mostly been driving in eco mode this week just because it kind of dulls down that throttle, which tends to be a bit of an on-off switch. It's all wedged in here, can't really see much going on. Again, more plastic. All right, so I think we can agree, good looking SUV, maybe a little bit lax in some of the materials. It does the screen thing just like everyone else is doing. Aside from the looks and the badge, there isn't really a whole lot to differentiate this Range Rover Velar, but I think that's probably enough for most buyers. We get a Meridian sound system, auto up-down windows on all four corners, and surprisingly, for your 80 grand, no 360 camera. Seems like a bit of an omission there from Range Rover. Let's walk you through this infotainment because that's pretty much all there is to do here. We've got our climate controls in here. You can quickly change your temperature with this screen, but again, you can only monotask in this display. You can kind of quickly change your temperature there, but that is tricky to do on the go if you're moving around and everything's vibrating. And this isn't the largest screen in the world. I do like how it's curved though. Like I said earlier, it's reasonably responsive. It doesn't seem to be too laggy on startup, though it never really gives me the response that I would expect out of a screen from 2024. Nothing really does these days, if I'm being honest, which is kind of a shame. We get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both connect wirelessly. You have some nice quick access buttons right here to the side. There you go. If you hit navigation, it'll go to whatever navigation app is open in your mobile device. That works well enough, no complaints there. Lots of settings, deep menus here that you can kind of go in. You can change your screen theme. I like this dark theme. I think it looks quite nice. Connectivity settings, vehicle settings, general settings, voice settings. We do get a few different drive modes: dynamic, comfort, and eco. You get some off-road modes in here, no air suspension, and this Velar, though I believe it is available in the top trim to give a little more ground clearance. This has 8.4 inches of ground clearance, which is about average for any crossover, though you're not really going to be rock crawling in this thing. A few different drive modes, though. You get comfort, grass, gravel, snow, mud ruts, sand. You've got some 4x4 info here, a locking center differential, which is nice. That'll just give you a 50-50 torque split front and rear. And then your street drive modes are right here, which you can quickly access. We're going to drive this in eco and see how we feel there. Quick parking camera access over here with an icon to the right, which I like to see. Though, again, no forward camera, no side cameras, no 360 cameras. That's weird. Steering wheel. We've got these plastic buttons that push in and give you a bit of a click, so you've got some haptic feedback there. Heated steering wheel button, speed limiter, lane centering, and cruise control. We'll test that out on the highway. You've got your volume control right here, and then you can go in and kind of change your info panel displays, your head-up display. All of that is customizable in there. I just kind of like having the map in the middle because that looks pretty good to me. The engine start-stop button is kind of where you'd expect it, but it's kind of canted to the side, which is interesting. Something I've gotten used to this week, but kind of threw me for a loop when I first pressed it for the first time. All right, let's go into drive and see how this Velar is on the road. See those door handles go in flush as you take off. All the controls, your turn signal, your brake pedal, the steering, they all feel very Land Rover, Range Rover. A little bit lighter of a touch. Auto stop start engaging there. Even in eco mode, I feel like this doesn't really know whether to give me full throttle, half throttle, or just a little bit of throttle. Brake pedal's pretty touchy too. Not a lot of feedback there. It's kind of mushy, and it all comes on at once. Listen how seamless this auto start-stop is. It just comes on, and it comes on immediately as soon as you let off the brake pedal. There is a way to turn it off in the screen here, but it works so well I almost feel like I don't need to bother. Inline 6 sounds good. Makes tons of power. The ZF 8-speed smooths out pretty well once it gets warmed up, but initially it can be a little bit rough. Not a lot of steering feel here. I mean, you know, this is your kind of average luxury crossover driving experience. Ride quality is comfortable. Let's engage cruise control here. With the cruise control limiter. There we go. Figure out how to work this. No idea what's going on. Just pressing buttons. All right, we got it. We can change our following distance. Have a steering assist system. We have to keep our hands on the wheel though. See how that keeps us centered between the lines. And we have nice graphics in the head-up display showing us what's going on. I like the heated steering wheel in this Velar. It is nice and warm, kind of the perfect temperature. Alright, we're going to put us up to 80 miles an hour here and see how it negotiates a lane change and a pass of this slower vehicle. It doesn't change lanes itself, but it is getting around this Mazda CX-5 pretty well. I like how we can quickly enable and disable the steering assist right there on the steering wheel. All the buttons, once you get used to them and kind of learn what they do with regards to the cruise control, work pretty well. Quiet at speed, not a lot of wind noise, road noise, NVH in this Velar. That is nice. We do have this heated windscreen, which is very cool. Super useful times like this in the winter. Really wide angle passenger side mirror on this Velar, which I really appreciate that. Closest following distance. This is a great distance at 65 miles an hour. Very nice. Cancel everything very quickly right down there and take control yourself. Let's throw us into dynamic mode. Bit of lag there from the screen. Use our paddle shifters. Oh, you know what? Our paddle shifters might be disabled in the menu. There is an option for that. All right, let's go in here and see if we can turn our paddle shifters on. Why is that even an option? Driving assistance. I have no idea where that is. Gear shift paddles. Sport only. Drive and sport. There we go. I mean, you know, it's quick enough. You can leave your 8-speed automatic in drive or pull back on the gear lever there and put it into sport. See how that feels here. Expected a little bit more power out of this with it making almost 400 horsepower. It's still quick, but it's not as quick as I thought it might be. Oh. There is 0 throttle resolution in sport mode. Let's get out of these 12 menus and go back to our Waze navigation. We're in sport mode, dynamic mode. Let's see how it handles. A bit greasy out today, but good traction from these tires. They're Michelin's. Not the sportiest vehicle in its class, but it gets out of its own way. Nothing here is truly terrible. Nothing here is truly exceptional. It's just kind of all very average. And for the money, you could do a whole lot better in this class from BMW, from Audi, maybe even Mercedes. I don't know. I think, really the biggest win with this Velar is that there's no huge deal breakers about it. It looks amazing. It's a cool vehicle to walk up to and behold, and if you're in love with the styling, I cannot blame you, because I think it is absolutely gorgeous. There isn't anything really here that I hate about it, but there isn't anything I really love about it. I think Land Rover could have given us nicer interior materials. They could have given us a few more physical controls. But that said, everything is workable and it gets a pass. The interior is very minimal, so the design is well done, well executed. You've got your same simplistic interior here that you get in a lot of new vehicles. I would like to see a little bit more feature content here standard for the money. It would be nice to get a 360 camera. Maybe a digital rear view mirror would be cool. If you go with the full-blown HSE, you might get a few more options. Air suspension, that would be nice. But ultimately, for what people are using these for, to go to the shopping mall, to drop the kids off at school, around town, on-road use, I think this is a perfectly fine vehicle for its intended purpose. It feels decidedly modern and luxurious, except for some of the materials on the above the belt line seem a little bit cheap. But also, the Land Rover Defender has a lot of these materials, and that kind of is marketed as being more rugged. So I guess this is kind of a blend between luxury and rugged, without really the actual rugged part. But you see this same type of textured plastic in the Defender. So I guess that's probably where it's from. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it belongs in this Velar.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
There's probably a way to turn her off also. Alright, let's go around one more corner here. We'll put it in a dynamic mode. We do have adaptive dampers here, so we can adjust the suspension in terms of stiffness, feedback, feel. Brakes feel good once you get into them. There just isn't a lot of feel or modulation at lower speeds. And visibility here isn't bad also. I can see pretty well out of the rear view mirror. Love that side wide angle mirror. Driver's side mirror looks good. No major blind spots back there. You think with this vehicle's shape there would be some compromises, and overall it's fine. I have lots of adjustability with this driving position. Oh boy, we gotta go back into eco mode. Getting super lurchy there with throttle response. Even eco mode is pretty lurchy. There we go, that's better. I like the graphics. Aside there being a little bit of lagginess here and there, everything's worked well this week, no bugginess. I would love to have analog gauges instead of digital gauges, but here we are. Everything is attractively designed. All the information you need is easy to read, easy to find. It is nice to have a head-up display in something like this. How's the sound system? No volume knob. Just a slider. But it works. The slider works. Is it my favorite way of interacting with a car? No, but everything here works. They've just done a good job kind of placing stuff. It's intuitive. has pretty poor performance. So the Meridian sound system here has pretty poor performance. I don't like that there's not a volume knob, there's no quick track selection controls. But that's where we are with our screen. All right, so what do we think about the Range Rover Velar? For the money, bit of a mixed bag here. There's a lot of things that I don't particularly love, but nothing I completely hate. I think if you gotta have a Range Rover, gotta have something that is just stunning and gorgeous on the road. Overall, this is a nice vehicle. It's not great value for the money. You're not maybe getting the same driving experience here as you are in a BMW X3, and maybe you're paying a little bit more money than an X3 as well. I feel like Land Rover could have given us a bit of a bargain here in the sense that they're giving us a little bit more feature content than the competition, but I feel like in many ways we're getting a little bit less. So it is what it is. It's a good looking car. It drives fine. The interior is fine. The tech is fine. The sound system is not fine for the money. But the rest of it just works. And as a vehicle to live with every day, it's going to be fine. And it's going to look good. And you're going to look good living in it. So I think that pretty much sums up the Range Rover Velar. Nice to finally get behind the wheel of one of these. There are definitely more impressive vehicles in the Land Rover lineup, but as an entry-level model priced below 100 grand, I think this is still going to appeal to a lot of people. One thing I didn't show you, wireless charging in there, as well as a USB port, some more storage, these cup holders, pretty well placed, I guess. You could fit a large water bottle in there, some more storage down here. That's probably going to get kind of scratched up over time, but I like that this is all matte. These buttons get lots of goop and fingerprint and dusty stuff all over them. This is all plastic here, but at least it's not metal, so it doesn't freeze or burn your hands off. All right, there's the Velar. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.